Hello everyone and welcome back to my yearly Artfight content! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be going over some Artfight basics and some tricks from a veteran. This is my 7th year and I'm honestly so hyped and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna share some stuff around because there's a lot of newbies this year. If you don't know what Artfight is or where to really start, there's resources in the description that I've linked. Mostly the about page of Artfight and the site rules, just for you to glance over if you want. This video is mostly for people who have an account but don't really know what to do with it or don't know how to set it up really well. So first off, let's talk about attacks. The common advice for getting attacked is to find and join hit lists and or join the Artfight Discord server and promote yourself. And I'm going to be entirely honest, unless you have characters in a popular fandom or ones that are attractive, like conventionally attractive or tropes that people really like, you're probably not going to get attacked first. My advice is to take initiative and to attack people first. A lot of folks revenge most of the attacks that they get. It's not always a guarantee, but it is a pretty safe bet if you want to try that first. That's what I would recommend. In addition, you can see if someone is likely to revenge by their ratio. You can enter the statistics section and look at battle ratio. Someone at 50% or above tends to attack as much or more than they get attacked. You can look at mine for a little demonstration. My battle ratio is currently 56.39%, and I do actually attack more people than I get attacks in return. And one thing to note for attacking this year is the rules around tracing have been updated. So make sure you glance over those updates to the rules before Artfight starts. Just in case you're not a part of the Discord server and you haven't seen the whole drama. I'll touch on it again a little bit later. It's a whole thing. Remember, this is an art gifting game, not an art receiving game. So it's not a guarantee you're ever gonna have your characters be drawn. I mean, it's pretty likely. As long as you're active, someone is gonna attack you back. Now let's move on a little bit to characters. How you present your characters also matters a lot to people who may attack you. My biggest point is that make sure you have like a short and sweet section on your character's profile, like a little TLDR. Some people love long lore explanations and some people really, really hate it. It's a major turnoff for some people, and I'd recommend putting the long explanation of your character's lore in a spoiler so that it's hidden to people who aren't interested. And that might sting a little bit, but some people just don't have the bandwidth to read paragraphs and paragraphs. Also, I don't think Artfight is in a very dyslexic friendly font, so some people it might just be an accessibility thing for them, like it is for me. I can't read massive paragraphs with no interruptions. It's just, I physically can't. Another turnoff for people that might be a reason why you weren't attacked last year or to make sure you get attacked this year is to have permission set up for your characters, even if you don't care what people do with them. I know that I personally get anxious when that section is blank when hunting for characters because it really feels like they might have just forgotten to set it up, or some people just, they don't really care, but I know that personally I get anxious when that section is blank when hunting for characters because it feels very limiting with what I might be able to do because I don't want to accidentally step on a boundary that they might not even realize that they have, and I might disappoint them with the art I give them because it's gonna be very bland and plain because I don't want to push boundaries is the thing. And I know a lot of people have issues with that. So the main thing is that you can put like encouragement in there of things that you would like to see. Like you could say, I'd love to see my guys in different outfits in their style, or ships with this fandom character are encouraged. I've seen a lot of stuff like that, and that is really helpful. Another major turnoff for people that I should probably add are rendered references, like shading, lighting, having variations of skin tone to make it look realistic. People hate that, and I also hate that. Like, I know you want to put a ton of effort into your characters. Color picking from references is like bestie number one to at least the digital artists, and some people get really picky in particular about the skin color their OC has, and so it becomes a turnoff because if you can't color pick and you can't get close enough to the skin tone of what you think it might be, then people just aren't going to draw your character. You can, alternatively, if you don't want to just do flats for whatever reason, you can have an additional section on your reference or an image on the profile with the base colors and just make sure that they're clearly labeled for which is where. A reason I don't really fully like it when people do this is because they miss colors. So make sure every single color that you use for your character's reference is put in that little section. Okay, so here's one of the most important things to keep in mind is etiquette. There are some niceties that you're probably not aware of if it's your first year or if you didn't really participate that much last year. First off, comment under every attack you receive. Regardless of skill level or how much you like it, always comment something positive under the attack. We create and we foster a positive community on Artfight, and we don't want people being discouraged because they're at a lower level or they didn't really understand what your character was about. That's kind of like the risk and reward from participating in this event, is some people are gonna just draw your character as they see it, and you can't really do anything about it. The only exception is for attacks that are hateful and or break the rules of Artfight. Report those. Report those. There might be new filtering things this year. I haven't really looked too far into that, but just keep that in mind. Another core tenet of the community is don't like, don't interact. It's on you to avoid things from fandoms you don't jive with, not the person making the content. There's a block button open and available for you to use if you don't want them to interact with you. I think it's actually more of a block list, but it's pretty easy to use. It might sting a little if you find out someone blocked you, but it's honestly better in the long run. Don't interact is very solid in the art community and in fandom spaces, which Artfight is a fandom space. We're all just making content for each other at the end of the day. Okay, and here's a bonus for etiquette, and this is mostly for our international users to help them, is please use File Garden or Toy House when adding images to your profile. Imgur, however you say it, whatever, is blocked in, I think it's Britain, but I'm saying international in general because there's more bands coming out, I think. Also, please don't use Discord. It does not save images permanently, and you will find that your profile might get sent to the Shadow Realm because it just deletes your images. So I prefer using Toy House, but invites can be hard to track down if you don't already have an account. File Garden is the other reliable one that I've seen people promote and use. Okay, last of the tips, for today at least, avoid drama. Artfight is at its best when people aren't at each other's throats. I would especially avoid TikTok drama at all costs. That art community is rather toxic. YouTube tends to be better in that regard since it's slightly less reactionary. If you don't want to draw specific skin colors, body types, creature types, fandoms, etc., then you don't have to. Just move on and find another person to attack. Again, don't interact. If you find that someone is attacking you or is very hateful towards you, you can always just report them. The moderators are volunteer and they're all very nice. This community aims to be a safe space for all ages, nationalities, and skill levels. So just keep that in mind, that we're trying to foster a very nice community. We've had issues in the past with Artfight. Something I want to tack on really quick is that DNIs, do not interacts, are still banned this year, except for DNI minors. Please do not have a DNI on your page, and encourage others to not have one. This has been such a major drama in this community this year, and it's part of the the whole tracing drama that we've had. If you've been in the Discord server, you'll know all about this. People have a lot of big feelings about do not interacts and about tracing, and we're all just trying to have fun, and we're all just trying to drive together. The Artfight team is very good at listening to community feedback and listening to its users. So we've had a lot of rule changes in the last couple of weeks, and again, I really recommend just going through the rules really quick. It's not too long, and a lot of it is like pretty simple. So that would be my recommendation. Those are my main tenets that I don't think other people have really touched on too much. Now then, on to some fun profile stuff. On the official Artfight Toy House page or in the Discord server, you can find your team card and fill it out. You've already seen me do mine. It's been on screen this whole time. It's on the screen again as a refresher. I've seen people do them a bunch of ways, and you can pick out the best way for you. Either take already made images and crop out the background, or redraw your characters into the small thumbnails, or draw over the cropped images. Really, I've seen a lot of speed paints. Get creative. Something fun the teams are doing this year is theming the thumbnails of their characters. Mystery is making our characters silhouettes, creepy silhouettes. I've seen Tragedy make their characters sad clowns. And honestly, Comedy hasn't done so much. So there's open pastures of opportunity there. If you're new to Artfight and you're intimidated by making references for your characters and having a bunch of characters, I honestly wouldn't worry. You only really need one. And the reference doesn't have to be brand new. People use older references and images for their characters all the time. Literally don't stress about it. Burning yourself out before the event just kind of honestly kills the vibe. And it's meant to be chill, it's meant to be fun. So like, don't even worry about it. A lot of Artfight is just meant to practice your own style. Really just focus on making one character profile up to your standard, and you can always add more characters during July 2. You're not like there isn't like a character adding phase to Artfight. You can change your profile whenever, add characters whenever, change things up. You can even swap teams during Artfight. It's really not that deep. So for my characters, like, I'm not even done with my references either, and we're about a week out. I end up focusing really hard on like one or two of my character profiles at a time, and then over a couple of months I get them done. Like, I started back in March and it is June, so I've kind of had time to catch up. So don't feel like you're behind at all when people like me are super ahead. Doing them last minute is kind of the cultural norm in Artfight, so literally don't worry about it. If you do have like 1,000 characters that you've added to Artfight, I would personally make a randomizer. I made mine a cute chibi of my Sona that people click on and get pulled into a random character on my page, and I would 100% recommend everyone else do that too. I've seen people draw like cute gumball machines and slot machines and other cute random stuff. There might have been a blind bag one once. Other people who prepped way ahead of time have been doing crazy stuff. Again, don't feel bad if you're behind. It's okay. It's okay. But I would 100% recommend putting something like that together. If you're gonna have more than like 3 OCs, people are indecisive. And I think they're so fun to mess with. I'm gonna be entirely honest, they're so fun to mess with. Oh, and the site I used is the Universal Sig Rotator. Literally just Google that phrase and it'll come up. And you just copy and paste the link into it, and then you generate the link to then attach to whatever you want to attach it to. I can field questions in the comments if someone needs a better explanation. Okay, and another decoration thing that you can either make or find are thumbnail decorations. I know this is something that a lot of people love getting, so this might help your chances of getting revenged if that means a lot to you. I've seen a ton submitted to the official Toy House World for anyone to use, so if you don't want to make your own, you can always go track some down and use one of them. And the thumbnail decorations are usually what people use them for personally, are like to keep track of what year and what team the art was made in. I've also seen a lot of people who, and this is something you'd have to do in like the middle of Artfight, but like bait people with their thumbnail images. So that might be something you might want to plan to do, is like make a dumb, stupid little stick drawing of the attack that you're gonna do and submit that if you don't want to do like a thumbnail decoration. That happened to me like a couple times, and honestly, it's so funny. It's it's so funny. Okay, and I will offer and put out that if you want to use any of the assets I've put on my page, again, I'm Team Mystery, just by the by, and I've only made Team Mystery assets, so if you're also Team Mystery and you want to use my assets, literally go ahead. Just, like, credit me somewhere. And you can also use my profile as inspiration if you want, because I've done a very minimalist setup this year, like I do every year, so you feel free to just copy what I've done. You don't have to go crazy with decorations, and you don't have to go crazy with characters, and you don't have to go crazy with any of this. People do because we're insane. So just, like, keep it chill, keep it fun. I know, like, it's probably intimidating for new people to come in to this already established event, feeling like the friend of a friend who got dragged along to a house party. Now you're standing awkwardly in the corner waiting until someone can invite you into a conversation. But like, you don't have to feel that way. You make your own little bubble in your own little space in the Artfight community, and honestly, that's the best part of it all. My one last recommendation I'm gonna leave everyone with is that as great as the Artfight Discord server is, if you are in any other art servers, I would recommend having an Artfight channel there if there isn't one already. And that is because the Discord server for Artfight is so packed with people. There's so many people there that you will get drowned out. That is a guarantee. They have a slow mode on basically all their channels right now. And so you get to type once, and I hope you're committed, because it'll take, sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's only 30 seconds between your next, comment. It's a great place to go if you need help with questions, or you have comments or concerns or whatever. But like, other than that, I would recommend going to smaller art servers and doing a lot of your Artfight hyping there. I've also been considering maybe making like a little mini Discord server for my small community. So if you're interested in maybe that, let me know. Otherwise, that's gonna be all for today's video. Good luck with your profile if you're participating. If you're just spectating, prepare to watch my team fucking lose. Oh my god, we have so few people. And good luck with your references, everyone. Happy fighting!